All right. Well, hello there, boys and girls. How you guys doing? I am Desi Arnaz, professional investor, and I want to welcome you guys to today's episode of the Note Investors for Newbies show. See, we got a couple people on here with me today. I'm glad to see you guys are here. If you guys are new to the note industry, note investing, I think you're going to find today very, very insightful. I'm actually going to be covering how to calculate yields using a financial calculator. And so this is something that you can download, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a couple of minutes. As I said, my name is Desi Arnaz. I've been investing in mortgage notes since 2013. I've been investing in real estate since 1982. It's a long time ago, before a lot of you guys were even born, right? I was already investing in real estate as a landlord and property flipper. And so I was doing that until I found out about mortgage notes. And once I found out about mortgage notes, I decided, whoa, this is way better. And I started transitioning out of bricks and sticks into paper. And that's where I'm at now. I'm in mortgage note paper. And I just want to share with you guys today some of the little techniques that we use as mortgage note investors. And for those of you that don't know what a mortgage note is, I'll just take a couple of minutes and make sure that you at least get that, right? Basically, a mortgage note, it's an IOU, right? It's an IOU that has collateral. The collateral is real estate. And here's what I mean by that. I'll give you an example. If you were to go and buy a house and you didn't have the money to pay cash, what would happen is you would have a certain amount of money to put down. Maybe you put down 10% of the price of the house, but you would borrow the other 90% from a bank or a mortgage company, right? That 90% that you borrow is your debt. You owe that money. And in order to evidence that debt, what's going to happen is the bank or mortgage company is going to have you sign a couple of key documents. The number one document that they will have you sign is called a promissory note. Basically, it's an IOU. It says, hey, I owe you guys 90% of the price of that house, whatever that number is, right? And in order to put teeth in that promissory note, the lender is also going to have you sign a document known as a mortgage. That document pledges your real estate as collateral. And it basically says, if you read it, it basically says, hey, if I don't pay you back the money that I owe you, you can take my house. You know, that's what a mortgage basically says. Okay. And so when I say we invest in mortgage notes, I'm talking about those two documents right there. And we are literally the bank or the mortgage company for people. So guys, I wanted to know, just you guys are here. Who's on with me today? Hit me up on the chat, guys. Let me know who's on with me. Hey, I see we got Gary today. Gary, welcome. I'm glad to see that you're here. You're so into this that I see your name often, and I'm really glad to see that you're here. And I want to help you. I want to help you to do well in this space. So who else do we have on today? Hit me up in the chat. Let me know what you guys know. If any of you guys that are in the chat right now are in here with me, if you guys own notes, you know, let me know. Do you own a note or do you want to own a note? If you own a note, just put own. If you want to own a note, say want to. Put that into the chat. Would you let me know kind of where things are there? Because I teach people how to own notes and how to buy those notes with their own money, with their retirement money, or with other people's money. That's what I teach people how to do. Okay. I see we got a couple of other folks that are checking in today. Melita, welcome. Melita's a difference maker. I'm happy to see that, Melita. I know that some of you guys won't know what she's talking about, but it's a big deal that she's a difference maker. Awesome. Really glad to. We got Melita says she wants to own a note. So good. I can help you with that. You want to own a note. Be the difference maker. Jarrett, welcome, Jarrett. Welcome today. I'm glad you guys are here. All right. So I'm going to be talking about the financial calculator. If you guys want to have the financial calculator, you can download it on your cell phone. I think it's about $4 or $5 to buy it, maybe $6 to buy it from like the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. And you're going to see me using it today. And I'm going to show you guys how I use it to calculate yields, discounts, and to determine when I'm grading a note, how I can determine whether a note is an A, B, C, D kind of grade note, that kind of thing. So we'll be talking about that. All right. Also, Liz says she wants us to start a legacy. Thank you. You should. I see I've got my friend Patrick Skulls on. Thank you, Patrick. Welcome. Glad that you are here. Definitely glad to see you on here today. You guys are awesome. Shauna is here as well. Hi there, Shauna. Welcome. All right. So let me just share my screen with you guys and start to show you guys a little bit about what it is that I'm talking about. Okay. Let's see right here. There we go. So what I'm talking about today is how to calculate yield and using the 10BII financial calculator. This is it's a tool that we use in the mortgage industry and even real estate brokers, real estate agents, and real estate investors use it as well. It's not just in the mortgage industry. You can even use this like when I was buying my new car. I already knew what the monthly payments were going to be because I used my 10BII calculator to do the math once I knew what the interest rate was going to be and the term that I was going to take on my on when I bought this, when I financed this vehicle. So I'll be talking about this today, guys. And as I said, you can download it. You can also take additional training at the Note Investor University if you want to learn this. So I want to ask you guys to do me a favor. If you're on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're watching me, share this, right? Share this, like it, share it. I would appreciate it. Give me some love in the social media space so that I can have more people learn this and I can start to share this valuable knowledge with other people. Also, if you're watching on YouTube or if you have never subscribed to my channel, first of all, shame on you. Head over to YouTube and just type in Desi Arnaz, and then you can put in notes, the word notes right after it, right? And this is how you spell my name right there on the screen, Desi Arnaz. And you put the word notes in it, and you'll see, first of all, Lucille Ball's husband is going to come up, but I'll be right there with him. And then you can go to my channel and you can subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I'd like to see you there. You guys will be notified every time we do something. Last thing, guys, this show today is brought to you by the Note Investor University. If you have not already checked out the Note Investor University, it's where you can learn how to invest in mortgage notes using your own money, your retirement money, like your 401k, your IRA, or even using other people's money. So I teach people how to do that at the Note Investor University. You can go all the way through our graduate class and become a certified note investor if that's what you'd like to do. And if you do that, what's going to happen for you is you're going to have a whole new life, right? I can guarantee you that because you'll learn all the skills that you need so that you can become a professional note investor like myself, and you won't ever have to worry about money again. That's what the benefit of being a note investor is, as you guys will see. These are some testimonials from a few of our students. Donna and Michael said, this program has changed our lives. We're on our 5th note, and this was in their 5th month with us, by the way. We're on our 5th note. They go on to say, these guys are genuine. Laura says, I love the coaching calls. Desi and Patrick are always there to help and answer questions. Dexter says, there's just nowhere else I could find where you could get this kind of mentoring and training for this kind of price. And he's right. So head on over to noteinvestoruniversity.com after the show, okay? And check us out, learn more. And if I would suggest you guys sign up with us. And it's a month-to-month membership, very affordable. And see what you guys think, right? See what you think. I think that you'll find that note investing is what you've been looking for. All right, so let's get into that financial calculator. On the screen right now, you're going to see the financial calculator. This is an image of the financial calculator that I'm talking about. It's called the 10BII calculator. And basically, I'm going to show you guys the main keys that you'll use in order to do what I'm doing today. Now, there are a lot of keys on this calculator, just like most calculators, and you can do all kinds of stuff, but you don't need to learn all that. The things that you need to know, I'm going to show you today. You can see that across the top there are 5 buttons. Those 5 buttons are indicated, what they are is indicated in the white box there in the middle. N stands for the number of payments. I stands for the interest rate or yield. PV stands for the loan amount or the present value of the money. PMT stands for the payment. That would be the monthly payment, or if it's a quarterly payment, that's where it would go in there. And FV stands for the future value of the money. What's that money going to be worth in the future? So those are the 5 primary keys across the top that you'll see. Going down the side, you're going to see there's a plus minus key. I'll show you how to why and when to use that in just a minute or so. Also, there's your clear key to clear out any that maybe you do a typo or whatever, right? Or if you just want to clear out your screen, that's what this clear key is for. The orange key right above the clear key is to activate any function that is in orange. Like under the C for the clear key, you'll see it says see all, and that's in orange. So you press the orange key first, then you press the key that you want to activate the orange function under. Okay, so that's basically how that calculator works. And you guys, of course, can watch this video again. I'm going to move right along. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. You can watch it as much as you like. But I'm going to move right along and talk about how I use this in note investing. All right, so question for you guys. Anybody on here ever use this calculator? Or do you have this calculator or a different one? Some people use the HP. Did you use the 10BII or the HP? Just curious. Put that into the chat for me if you don't mind. 10BII, HP, or some other financial calculator. All right, so let's take a look at this then. Let's look at yields, and then we're going to look at discounts. And then I'm going to show you guys a little trick that I use to milk more money out of my notes. Okay, I'll show you that at the end. So stick around to the end and you'll watch a professional trick, or a professional, I shouldn't even call it a trick. It's just a strategy and technique that pros use to squeeze more yield out of their assets that they buy, right? So I'll be sharing that with you guys today. So let's just work out this, let's game out this scenario. Let's say that a person reaches out to you or me, let's say us, and they have a note for sale. And here's what they tell us. They tell us there are 315 payments left. Now, when you're buying a mortgage note, you are buying the remaining payments. So you need to know how many payments are left, right? Do these people still have 1 year to pay? Do they still have 30 years to pay? How much longer are they expected to pay? So in this case here, there are 315 monthly payments remaining. The seller gave us that information. We don't have to try to figure it out. They'll tell you how many payments are remaining. Second thing is, under the next box there, which is your I on your calculator, right? IYR, they put in the interest rate. The existing note that the seller wants to sell has a rate of 6.75. 6.75. Now, under the UPB on your calculator is called PV. We put in the balance that the seller has given us. Now, in this case here, the seller says these people owe $87,422. That's what they still owe on the mortgage. Their monthly payment is $586.49. And future value, we're not calculating that right now. So that's the information that we got from the seller. And so using your calculator, if you guys will stick that 315, if you have one, you can follow along. Let's see here, who has one? Oh, Patrick has one. Good for you, Patrick. Patrick Skull has this calculator. And yeah, if you guys want to follow along, you can plug in the 315 under the N for number of payments. You plug in the 6.75 under the I. The PV is 87,422. And then the PMT is 586.49. So once you've done that, here's what I like to do. I like to say, well, that's nice that you have a 6.75% interest rate on your note, Mr. Seller. However, I want to invest my money at a higher yield than that. I want to earn, let's just say for our example, I want to earn 8.5. If I'm going to invest my money, I want to earn at least 8.5. Well, in order to earn 8.5 on this note, because the note rate is only 6.75, right? In order to earn 8.5, we actually have to pay less for the note than $87,422. If we pay less for the note, but yet we're collecting payments on 87,000, then our yield goes up. So the question becomes, how much would I pay for this note if I want to earn 8.5%? Well, there are 315 monthly payments left. The monthly payments are $586.49 each month. So if I want to buy 315 payments of $586.49 and I want to earn 8.5, what would I pay for that note? Well, this calculator will tell you, right? You just plug in, you change the 6.75 to 8.5 because that's the rate that we want. That's the yield that we want to earn on our money. And it tells us we should not invest more than $73,836. If we invest $73,836, that amount of money will be yielding 8.5% per year. Okay, and that's what we just calculated there. Pretty cool, pretty easy to do. Okay, and now I know that that's what I want to pay for this note. Okay, that means that I'm going to buy this note at something called a discount, guys. That means I'm paying less than the face value of the note. Now, for me, I love buying at a discount. Discounts are one of the things that I like most about investing in mortgage notes, because I don't like to pay full price, right? I don't think anybody likes to pay full price for stuff in general if you can get a discount. And so I like it because when I was a real estate investor, I would buy a piece of real estate and then I would have to wait for that property to go up in value in order to have equity in that property. You guys understand that, right? You pay $100,000 for a house until it goes up to something more than $100,000. You don't really have any equity. You may have put a down payment, but you don't really have any equity in that property. And so I'd have to wait until the property value goes up. But as a note investor, the day that I buy that note, I'm getting it at a discount, so I have equity built in to the note. In this case here, I actually have instant equity of $13,586. That's the difference between what I paid for the note and what they owe on the balance. Because think about this, I paid $73,000 and some change, right? If they were to sell that house the very next day, they owe me the full balance. They don't just owe the $73,000 or whatever that was that I paid. Also, this equity increases my net worth, doesn't it? Right? Right? We all want to become millionaires. Well, a millionaire is a person who has $1 million in net worth, exclusive of their residence, right? So if you have $1 million in net worth, this will bump it to $1,013,000 just buying this note, right? You just picked up an extra $13,000 in net worth. So that's one of the things also that, as I said, I really love about investing in mortgage notes. I really like that a lot. And here's a couple more students. As I said, for those of you that came on late, we're sponsored today by the Note Investor University. You can head over to noteinvestoruniversity.com. You can join my friend Kent, Dr. Ivan, and Margaret, and you can learn, like they are, how to invest in mortgage notes. And we'll take good care of you guys, just like we take good care of them. You guys can go back and read their testimonials when you have a chance. But I just want you guys to know that. Also, I want to just remind you guys to please like and share this. Give us some social media love. I would really appreciate it. Okay. If you shared it already, or if you liked it already, put that into the chat. Let me know. Just make me feel good, right? Give me some encouragement there. Everybody needs a little bit of encouragement from time to time. I'm no different. I need it. So please like, share, and hit me up in the chat to let me know that you've done it. Find me on YouTube and join me. Subscribe to my channel there too. Okay. So now you guys see how to use a financial calculator to calculate your yield and your discount. What I'm going to do now is just take a couple minutes and show you one of the little maneuvers that professionals do to increase their yield on a note. Okay, I call it reverse engineering. Now, as you know, in the world, in the real world, right, reverse engineering is where you tear something apart and you look at it and you say, oh, I got it. I realize how it's been put together, and then you put it back together, right? So I'm going to show you how I reverse engineer these numbers when I get offered a note for sale. And I do this every time, every single time. Because the numbers tell the story. And that's what I want you guys to understand. Once you understand how to use your financial calculator and you get the financial intelligence like you're learning here now today, you're going to be in a position to read numbers like you're reading a book, right? Like you're reading a story. All right. So here's our same scenario. 315 payments remaining on this particular transaction, according to the seller. According to the seller, the note rate is 6.75. Now, by the way, that's typed right in the promissory note. It doesn't change unless the promissory note allows for a change. But most of them are fixed rate notes, and the rate is what it is. Also, the monthly payment, $586.49, that is what it is. That's what those people are paying every month. Okay. Now, the seller says that they owe $87,422. So here's the first question that I like to ask myself. How much should they owe based upon how many payments they should have made by now, right? If this is a 30-year note, for example, and they've already paid for 5 years, then the balance should be a certain number. And you can use an amortization schedule to calculate that number, or you can use this calculator to calculate that number. And so what I'm going to do is use this calculator to calculate that number. So if there's 315 payments left, so I make sure that I put 315 under the N. I put in the 6.75 under the I. And by the way, you may already have this in your calculator if you've been following along. And I put in the monthly payment of $586.49, and I make sure FP has a 0 in it. So that's how I start that process. But I don't put in the UPB. I don't put in what the seller gave us. UPB stands for unpaid principal balance, UPB. That's a new term for you guys that are brand new to the note space. So I don't put in the UPB, the unpaid principal balance, but I actually want to solve for the UPB. So once I've put in those other three factors and I solve for the fourth, then I realize that, oh, these people's balance should be $86,450 based upon how many payments they have made and how many payments they have left, and the fact that they're paying at a 6.75% interest rate, and the payments of $586.49. Based on that, the calculator says their balance should be $86,450. That's what it should be. But if you remember, the seller told us that their balance is $87,422. Ho ho. We found a discrepancy, didn't we? The balance should be lower than what it actually is. So that's kind of a red flag for me as a note investor. And so by reverse engineering that, I've got my first red flag here, guys. I say, oh, wonder what that's about. Think about this. What would cause a person's balance not to go down as much as it should? Right? Think about that. Well, if they missed a few payments in there, right? That's what it's talking about. Their balance is $972 too high. That tells me that they must have missed some payments along the way. Because if they had made all of their payments, their balance would be $86,450, but it's not. Okay? They've missed payments. And so that is something that could have happened. The seller may not even know that they missed payments because the seller may have purchased this note from a different bank, and that bank didn't bother to tell them that these people had missed payments. And that particular seller that I bought this note from, or that you bought the note from, maybe they never reverse engineered it to see. But I always do this reverse engineering move so that I can see. So the question is, how many payments did they miss? Now, you may be thinking, well, they probably missed 2 payments because You remember their payments was $586. They are $900 short, so you're thinking they missed 2 payments. But that's not the way this stuff works, guys. Not at all. If you do that, you're going to cheat yourself out of money if you're the lender. You see, because of that $586 payment, most of that payment is interest. Only a little of that payment is applied towards the balance. That's just the way mortgages are written. In the early years, most of the payment is interest. Now, what is interest? Interest is profit for the lender. And if you are buying the note, you are the lender. So it's profit for you. And so if you give these people credit for $586 against their balance and you say, hey, you guys are about 2 payments behind, just get yourself caught up, you're cheating yourself, literally cheating yourself out of thousands of dollars, okay, of profit. And so here's how I do this. How many payments have they missed? Well, we can do a calculation on our calculator, on our 10BII, and come up with it, how many payments they are missing. Melita is correct. When I had asked the question, what would cause these people not to be behind? Or what would cause these people not to have the balance down to where it should be? And she said, because they missed payments. And you're absolutely right, Melita. Thank you for chiming in on that. So here's what I do. I take my financial calculator and I remove that 315 from the calculator screen. I zero that out, okay? But then I put in the other numbers that I do know. I know that the balance is, I know that the note rate is 6.75. I know that the balance is 87,422, according to the seller. Even though it should be lower, it is 87,422. And I know that the payment is 586.49. So I know those things. And we're not going to calculate future value right now. So we put a 0 there. And then we just solve for the N, solve for the number of payments. And when you go through that process, here's what you're going to come up with. You're going to see that these people should have 325 payments remaining. However, they don't. They only have 315 payments remaining according to the seller and the amortization schedule. So that means, to me, they've missed some payments. Seller shows that they have 315 payments remaining. My calculation shows they should have 325 payments remaining. Obviously, the difference is 10. These people have missed 10 payments somewhere along the lines, right? Somewhere along the lines, they've missed 10 payments. So now what? Well, here's what I do. They're making payments now, but somewhere back in history, they missed some payments. So what I do is I'll still buy the note, just so you know. I won't walk away from this just because of that. As a matter of fact, I look at it as found money. Okay, those are 10 payments that they should have paid to the previous owners of the note, but they didn't. So now I'm going to collect those 10 payments. So if you take the payment of $586 plus late charges, maybe another $14, $15 for late charges, basically these people are $6,000 behind because it's $600 a month for 10 months. So they're $6,000 behind, right, on their mortgage. Now, as a lender, I could foreclose on these people. I could say, you guys are 10 months behind, and if you don't write me a check for $6,000 right now, I'm going to take the house. I could do that, and so could the last lender. But that's not the way we operate. I don't want their house. I just want them to pay the payments, right? And so I reach out to the homeowner and I say, look, you have $6,000 in arrearages. And by the way, every time I do this, they know they miss payments back there someplace. Okay, they know it. They may not always know how many. We missed a couple payments. No, sir, you missed 10. Okay, yeah, that's the reality of it. We have the documentation. You missed 10. And so what I do with these folks is I work it out with them. I ask them if they can pay extra. Instead of paying a little bit extra every month, instead of paying $586, can they pay an extra $200 a month for 2.5 years? Or in this case, if they couldn't, I could say, can you pay an extra $100 a month for 5 years to get caught up, right? But let's just say they say, yeah, I can pay $200 a month for the next 2.5 years. So now what happens is, instead of paying $586 a month, now they're paying $786 a month. Now that's good for me, isn't it? That's really good for me. Think about that. I bought a note that I thought I was going to be making $586 a month on, but for the next 2.5 years, I'm going to be making $786 a month on. That's a good thing. That extra $200 every month, I can use that to take my beautiful wife out to dinner every single month. Fancy dinner too, right? $200. We could have a nice dinner. Or I can take that $200 and save it and buy myself another note, right? Or buy myself a partial note. There's just so many things that you can do. But the bottom line is this. I bought a note that I thought I was going to collect $586. Now, by doing this one maneuver, I'm now collecting $786 a month. That boosts my yield from 8.5, which is what I wanted. For the next 2.5 years, I'll be earning more than 12 and a quarter. I mean, that's huge, guys. It's 44% increase above the 8.5 that I thought I was going to be earning. And then what I would do is I'd just go ahead and collect those payments. And then at the end of the 2.5 years, I'll decide, do I want to keep the note or do I want to sell the note? You know, I might sell the note off at that point, because you don't have to keep these notes just because it's a 30-year note or a 20-year note. You don't have to keep it for 20 or 30 years. You can sell them anytime, just like if you're selling a piece of real estate that you bought. You can buy a piece of real estate, have a 30-year mortgage on it. You can sell that place anytime, right? You don't have to keep it for 30 years just because you took a 30-year mortgage. Same thing here. So I may sell the note after 2.5 years because I've already collected that extra $6,000 extra on the note, right? In addition to the $586 a month for the 2.5 years. So I would have collected quite a bit of money in 2.5 years. Then I turn around and sell the note and make another profit, windfall profit, guys. That's how you make so much money in the note business. I like to say this: note investors are not really in the real estate business at all. Now, real estate may be our collateral. Real estate may be the thing that makes us sleep well at night because we have the collateral that if they don't pay us, we get the house. But at the end of the day, we're in the money business. Just like banks, we're in the money business. Some people call this being the bank, right? They say, hey, you want to be the bank? I don't use that term, but I get it. You know, if you don't, we're in the money business. And so the money is in the money business. That's why when I found out about note investing in 2013, I started selling off all my rentals. I have been buying rentals since 1982. I started selling off all my rentals and just putting my money into paper, because now I have freedom and income and profit potential, windfall profit potential. If people don't pay me, I actually get the property. I've got a property back here in New Jersey just recently that I'm going to probably make $60,000 profit on that, because the people didn't pay their mortgage payment and they couldn't afford to. And so they literally gave me the house. They said, we don't want a foreclosure on our credit. Will you take the house back, not file foreclosure? And I said, sure. That, you see, because now that they don't have a foreclosure on their credit, as soon as they get back on their feet, they can go buy another house. If I were to file foreclosure on them, they'd have to wait a number of years before they could buy another house. And so they didn't want that. So they literally gave me the house, and all the equity in the house is mine. And I have it listed for sale. As a matter of fact, I'm in escrow already. We put it up for sale. We had 8 offers, I think it was 8 or 9 offers in the first like 3 or 4 days. It's just crazy. And so that's the windfall profit that comes from owning notes. So I like to tell people, you don't have to be a landlord to make really good money. As a matter of fact, you don't have to do any of that. All you've really got to do is understand how note investing works, embrace it, like the students that I showed you guys on those testimonials, and watch what happens for your life. It will happen for you, just like it happened for me, and just like it's happening for so many of our other students. We've got over 450 students go through our university. That's the Note Investor University, right? They've all learned how to use the 10BII calculator. We have 2 trainings in there on the calculator, a basics and an advanced training. What I just showed you guys today was even below basic. Okay, I mean, it's like really basic, but you learn how to use this stuff so that you can squeeze more yield out of your assets that you buy, right? And you can learn all that at the Note Investor University. So guys, I hope you guys like that. I mean, this is good stuff. If you've not looked at note investing, if you're sitting on money right now, either in your real estate, maybe you have equity in your real estate, or maybe you have money in your retirement account, it's time for you to put that money to work. equity is useless for you. So if you have equity in your real estate and it makes you sleep well at night, you should really be losing sleep. Because I can tell you, and some of you know my story if you've watched some of our other episodes, I had a bunch of equity in my real estate until the market turned, and then all my equity went away and put me in a position where I couldn't even afford to keep the house anymore, right? Because the market turned, and the business that I was in at that time, which was real estate as a real estate agent, people weren't buying houses because prices were falling and people were saying, I'm not going to buy right now. But yet my bills were going on and my equity was going away. So if you got equity in your real estate, now is the time to pull that equity out, either with a cash out refinance, sell the property, or get a home equity line of credit. But whatever you need to do, access that equity, put it in a bank account, because once it's there, it can't be taken away from you. If you leave it in your real estate, you could lose it. And you probably will, because I think we're headed towards a correction in the market, a major correction in the market. Home prices have gone nuts. Politicians have gone cuckoo. And it's just, we're headed there, guys. I've been in this space. I got my real estate broker's license in 1980, started investing in 82. And I can tell you, I've seen this 4 times in the past. We are headed for another downturn in home prices, an uptick in interest rates, and a lot of lost equity for a lot of people. A lot. Billions of dollars of lost equity. Don't be caught with your pants down in that group of people. I'm just trying to give you a heads up, okay? All right. All right. I see here, Melita says, great stuff. Thank you. Great stuff, right? I have money in my retirement account. Need to learn how to roll it over to a self-directed IRA. What you want to do is just give me a call. You can go to the noteinvestoruniversity.com, and on that page, you guys can schedule an appointment with me or with Patrick. And we can show you how to roll this stuff over, how you can position yourself so that you never have to worry about money again. But you got to get started. The problem that most people have is they never really get started. They say, yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm about to do it. Yep, it's in my plans, but they never actually get around to doing it. And that's sad, because time continues to tick, right? We know that. Think back just 2-3 years ago, 5 years ago, not that long ago. As you get older, when you're a kid, a year seems like it's forever. From Christmas to Christmas, it's forever. Now it's like you barely blink and it's next Christmas. And the same thing's going to happen for you guys in your life. Trust me on that one. I'll be 69 years old next month, and I just blinked. I thought I was 39, right? I just blinked and I'm 69. Okay, I'm glad that I've done well and that I've made some good decisions. I made a bunch of bad ones too in my investment career, but I've made some good ones. And the beautiful thing is that notes are so new. Hardly anybody knows about notes. So you don't have a lot of competition. You can get in on the ground floor right now and start building your portfolio before the whole world finds out about them, because more and more people are finding out about them. A lot of people are finding out, but still, you walk down the street, I'll bet you ask 9 people, you ask 10 people, do you know about note investing? Probably 8 or 9 of them will say, never heard of it. Okay. I mean, that's still where we are. You ask them about investing in real estate, all of them will say, yeah, I know, I've heard of that. You ask them about investing in stocks, sure, I've heard of that. Note investing, hardly anybody knows it. So it's still virgin territory, guys. You guys are early adopters of this. And I'm saying, take it seriously. And just like me, you will create financial independence for yourself under my tutelage. You can do it in 4 years, but certainly you can do it faster than that. It took me 2 to get $1 million portfolio that will pay me for the rest of my life. And now that portfolio is double that, and it'll pay me. And when I die, it'll pay my family. You guys can do the same thing, and your portfolio will continue to grow month after month if you do what I teach. Okay? And you can literally change your life. Would you like to have your life changed? You guys, if you want to have your life changed, you're ready for some change, then head on over to Note Investor University. Let me help you, but take it seriously. Don't waste your time. Certainly don't waste mine. Okay? Yeah, take it seriously. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Here, let's see. It says, Essence says, I'm excited that I caught your show. I'm ready to learn and quit this 9 to 5. Hey, you know what's interesting is when I got into notes, I was a real estate broker just coming out of the recession, right? And that was 2013. So we were out of the recession for maybe a couple of years already. But I was working for a company. A friend of mine has a real estate company. I was managing his company. And when I took the job, I sell houses. Of course, I get big fat commissions out here in California. My average commission on the sale of a house was like 12 or 13,000 bucks, and I would sell a lot of houses. But so he offered me a job to manage the office since I'm a broker and I have all these decades of experience, and so I managed the office. And he was paying me 50 grand a year to literally just kind of have my name there. I didn't have to really do much. I didn't even have office meetings. I didn't do much. But he's paying me 50 grand a year to just kind of have my name there and just be, because in California, you got to have a broker in each office. So I was managing in the office for him. But even that got to me after a while. I had so much money coming in from my note business. I thought, I don't even want to deal with this at all. I don't want to think about it. And so I just basically quit, walked away from that. I mean, it wasn't that much money. 50 grand a year is decent. Most people wouldn't just give it away, especially when you don't have to do anything. But I said, I don't even want that hanging over my head to be responsible for that office or for those people, and not for 50 grand, because it's so easy to replace 50 grand with note investing. And so I quit my 9 to 5. That's all I wanted to tell you. It wasn't really 9 to 5, but whatever, right? Had a boss that I had to report to once a month and say, this is what's happening. And I didn't even want to deal with that. So I get when you say you're ready to quit that job. Okay. I get it. And this business will help you to do it. And I'll show you how to do it. You just got to be serious. As I've gotten older, guys, I have less patience for people who aren't serious, even in my own family, right? If they're not serious, then don't waste my time. We can talk about stuff. We can go out and have fun together, but don't ask me about business. Don't ask me about how to create success, how to create financial independence, unless you seriously want to hear the answer. And then you seriously are willing to do the work. But if you are, I'm all in. I'm with you. I will show you and help you. And I can tell you, it's not nearly as hard as you think. Won't take nearly as long as people make it out to be. You can turn your financial situation around. It's amazing how fast it can happen if you take this thing seriously. So I just want you guys to know that, okay? I don't care where you are. And even if you're older, I had someone come to me who's like 65 years old. Like, am I too late? I said, no. It only takes a couple of years to become totally financially independent. A couple of years of putting your nose down, put your nose to the grindstone and say, let me make this happen. I got someone who's willing to teach me. They got a system in place that I can follow step by step. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. Step 3, do this. You just do it, right? And it's not something that you can't do. It's something that's totally doable. And if you do it, it works every time. No different than going to college. If you want to be an engineer, you take this course, you take this course, you take this course, you take this course, and then you're an engineer, right? Same thing here. You want to be a millionaire with note investing? You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, and boom, you're there. You're there. You're there. It's not if, it's when, right? And how fast do you want to go? All right. That's what it says. I am serious and ready. Good. Yeah. Head on over to noteinvestoruniversity.com, guys. Well, guys, that's it for me for today. I'm going to call it a day, going home. It's like 85 degrees here in Southern California. That's why I got my Hawaiian shirt on today. Got my Hawaiian shirt on today because I wanted to just really chill out. I got my shorts on and I'm enjoying the heck out of what I'm doing. Really enjoying the heck out of being a coach and helping people turn their lives around. Because I've been very blessed. Most of my life, financially speaking, I've been very blessed. And I just feel so good to be able to give back. And when I retire, I'm done. So I'm still at it right now. So take advantage of me. I'm not trying to say that I'm all that, but I'm simply saying I've been there, done that. And if you want to tap into my brain, tap into my skill set, I'm here. I'm here now. May not be in 2 or 3 years. Who knows? Probably won't be. Probably won't be. So let me help you guys through this. God bless you all, and I'll see you all next week.